Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts here. It's the Gaming Saloon from May 18th, 2025, with your host, Peacebreaker248, and wrap it up, Salon.
Hi.
Boy, do we have some dumb things to talk about. We have good news, but we have dumb news, which is better than having bad news, I guess.
I mean, is it?
Yes, even though I know there's layoff news that I just don't want to talk about. One of them being specifically Microsoft. How you doing?
What? Microsoft laying people off after buying, half of the industry? Whatever do you mean?
Microsoft still not understanding how to be Valve, but wanting to be Valve. Except be a subscription service instead of a storefront, which is fundamentally the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Epic can't even be Valve, no matter how many free games they give away. Like, I see the 2 games they're giving away for free right now, and I'm like, don't care, and I don't know what you are, but I also don't care. It's like Dead Island 2 and something else, and I'm like, I don't want to go through the effort to add you to my library.
Whereas I'm the opposite. I'm adding it all, even though I still really don't care.
Hmm.
Because even though I've added it, does not mean that I've got to download it.
I mean, same. I have 3 things installed through Epic now. Fortnite, KH2, and Murder by Numbers. That's it. I had Star Rail and Zenless through Epic, but I was like, I got tired of dealing with the Epic launcher, so I went and got Hoyo's own launcher that is all in one. Like, all the games are in one, and you just install whichever game you want, and oh look, I've had a much better time. But anywho, before we get into news and stuff, Tommy, what have you been playing the last couple weeks, or anything else in general?
I mean, not really anything.
Fair. And I think I did a Zenless event, but I have not hopped on Star Rail or Zenless in a bit. I need to hop on them sometime this week just to make sure I'm good on stuff. Especially since Star Rail's like, hey, the Fate update's soon, and I'm like, well, I guess that's where I'm spending all the currency I've got built up, because I really haven't pulled for anybody in Inforius. Because I have not been interested in anyone from Inforius, which probably says more than it should about how Inforius has went. I have tried to get caught up on Dark Side of the Ring, because I watched the first episode of the season and then did not watch the following 6 episodes. But I haven't been in the best mood to watch a depressing show about the depressing wrestling stuff.
Fair.
But I got better, and so I've watched like the 2nd and 3rd episodes, and I watched the most recent episode. The most recent episode that I had at the time, which was on the original Sheik, because coincidentally enough, Sabu passed away like 2 days before the episode premiered, and that is Sheik's nephew. So I watched all 3 of those episodes. Dark Side of the Ring continues to be really good, but also really sad. Which is just how it is. Besides that, I've been on and off on CAD and on and off on Ace Attorney 2 manual. I'm halfway through the final case for 2. I just have to do the back end of it, and it will be mapped out, and then I just have to throw it all in the builder and get the logic sorted. And then test it and make sure it runs, which for some reason local hosting is not working for me for Archipelago. Might have to see if I need an update or something.
You probably do. For the server side of it.
Yeah. which is probably because I was wanting to test the local host thing real quick, or something with localhost real quick, but it was just not cooperative. But yeah, I've also been staring at my backlog list since I did Pikmin off stream. I finished out Pikmin, and that final boss sucks. Everything else is good about that game except that final boss, and the remaster I assume fixes it because it gives you the mechanic to actually do that fight properly. But I'm at like 3 games beaten for the year. 2 of those were not on the list to start with. Actually, no, 3 of them were all not on the list to start with, which is a good sign of me clearing out my backlog. But I guess anything else before we get into news?
No.
All right, on the Destiny end of the Bungie offices, they had a live stream detailing their upcoming expansions, plural, and kind of the roadmap from there. So we have the Edge of Fate expansion, which will be their new paid expansion, focused on the 9 and all of their stuff. I don't know. Don't ask me Destiny story questions. I just point you to My Name is Bife. He will get you sorted on that. I forget the details on this. We got a new planet and new stuff and new campaign. That's kind of like the main thing. And then we have Destiny 2 Renegades, which is a Star Wars inspired expansion. Except the trailer was using the Star Wars music in we could wield lightsabers and Star Wars guns. But it's not Star Wars canon. It's Destiny canon. We are just using the Star Wars armor and the Star Wars weapons to tell a Star Wars-esque story. This is some weird, dumb half measure that I don't know how I feel about.
Fair.
Like, you're doing a Star Wars thing, but you're not going full on into a Star Wars crossover. You're just like, ooh, Star Wars stuff is here. We can use the Star Wars stuff, but we're not going to use the Star Wars character locations or anything. We will vaguely relate to that. Like, we'll meet a not Jedi and probably fight a not Sith and be at not Tatooine, I guess. I don't know. It's whatever. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it won't. I don't know. You can look like Vader or Grievous or Kylo Ren now, because those armors are in the bundle for the fancy stuff. How do you feel?
Meh.
I can't wait to pick this up for like $5 in like a year or two. If Destiny 2 still exists. But on the other end of the offices, so Bungie's gotten themselves in trouble because they went and copied one person's art and plastered it all over Marathon. Good job, guys. But apparently morale is in free fall, according to a Forbes article. And basically, they're expecting to delay the game from September. They do not know delay to at the moment.
I mean, to be fair, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost sounds like AI might have been involved.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I just look at this and I'm like, I was listening to someone talk about the live stream where they apologized for the art theft and then went and talked about Marathon, but didn't show anything because we don't want to show any more of this game until we solve the art issue. Otherwise, we might be in legal trouble. Maybe. But the guy summarized this, like, kept talking about baseline stuff and not like full game stuff, and I'm like, this is sounding like Destiny 1 and 2 all over again. Because weren't we doing this again when those two games were coming out? Because I know they both had terrible first years, and it feels like Marathon's going to have that bad first year as well. Except this might kill Bungie. I don't know. How do you feel?
I mean, to be fair, this kind of doesn't. It kind of doesn't surprise me. It feels like this never was put to much thought to begin with.
No. They did an extraction. They did an extraction shooter because Tarkov made lots of money apparently, and like, but people want extraction shooters, right?
No. What people really would like is a continuation for either, us doing Destiny 3 proper, or if you're going to resurrect Marathon, actually make it a Marathon game.
I think as one podcast put it, Tarkov is not, doing crazy because it's an extraction shooter. It's doing crazy because people like guns and people like the realistic gun usage in that game. That's what got people interested in Tarkov. So
almost the same kind of reason why people have any interest in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Because you legitimately tell me that any game like that could actually survive.
No. I'm pretty sure if anyone else tried to pull what Star Citizen did, they'd be dead in like a month.
Yeah.
If not less.
And that's one of those that kind of pains me when you see the bigger studios decide they're going to try to imitate that when they really don't understand it. Because case in point, as you said, with Tarkov, Marathon will fall flat because of it not being the same. And on top of that, I mean, let's be honest, Starfield kind of fell flat because it tried to imitate too closely to both Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen. Can these big studio heads not see that, copying is good when you understand what you're actually copying?
Yeah. But no one understands that. They're just like, do that. Just do that. That will solve all our problems. We'll make all the money. Like, no, you have to put effort into this. You have to put work and time. Well, speaking of AI, as you mentioned earlier, so Epic has put in a Darth Vader AI that is using James Earl Jones's voice. Unfortunately, folks got it to say slurs amongst other things, and so they had to take it down and put it back up because they made it to where if you were on your mic, you could talk to it. Why? Why did you bother? If you didn't do your checks to start with to make sure this wouldn't happen.
Something Star Wars, something money, something get it out the door. We don't care what shape it's in.
A reminder, we're supposed to have some Disney thing with Fortnite in the next some point in the near future. Whatever it's supposed to be. I can't wait for it to be just a interactive lobby. Because I swear to God, if all it is an interactive lobby, and there is no actual game within it, I'm going to scream and I will die laughing, because no one wants that. No one has ever wanted that. Why do you keep doing it? What has possessed you to do so? What statistic, what survey, what fucking brain tank, whatever, has told you that this is a successful idea? Please, justify it to me. Please. Any thoughts on AI Vader?
No.
Fair. Nintendo has confirmed what you're getting with the free updates. Because as a reminder, there are 3 tiers of updates for Switch 1 games going into Switch 2. There are your free updates that we'll talk about here. There is your update, your paid performance update with minimal new content, i.e. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. And then there is your performance update plus major content, which is Jamboree and Kirby currently, I believe, are the only 2 that fit that category.
Also, minimal added content. You have to only be talking about Tears of the Kingdom on that one, then.
I was about to say, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom are both using the same app.
Okay. Breath of the Wild only adds the app and removes all DLC.
Oh yeah, you
Not
don't
a
get the
good
DLC
trade.
with. Yeah, you don't get the DLC with that. You have to buy that separately, but have already owned it in order for it to work, I guess. Anywho,
I'm thinking I saw something about it. Don't have the DLC period.
oh my god, why?
So they can sell it at a later date to make people remember that game exists.
Nintendo, even when you have the opportunity to not fuck up because everyone else is fucking up, you still find a way to fuck up. God damn it.
They stumble.
It's not that hard. Just put the damn DLC in there.
Or
That's all you have to do.
if it wasn't ready, why make Breath of the Wild span 3 console generations? There's no need for that.
Thank you for reminding me that this will be the 3rd platform it's released on. Right.
Uh-huh.
I forgot. 3rd straight platform reminder.
I mean, at least with Tears of the Kingdom, okay. It's still dumb that we get a remaster for, the 2 Switch ones, effectively, but we don't get a remaster for any of the others, but that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm. So here is how your free updates are going to go per game. ARMS will be optimized for Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs to provide better image quality. Frame rate has been optimized for the Switch 2 display for a smoother experience, even when playing 3 or more players. Game will also receive HDR support. Big Brain Academy, brain versus brain, will receive game share support and no performance or graphics upgrades. In party mode, players can join up to 4 players and share locally or online via game chat. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker will be optimized for the Nintendo Switch 2 display in high-resolution TVS to provide better image quality and offer HD support. Game share support. 2 players can play all the courses, and you can share locally or online via game chat. Clubhouse Games 51 Worldwide Classics will not receive performance or graphical updates. Supports game share up to 4 players, can play 34 games. You can also share locally or online via game chat. Game Builder Garage will receive optimized visuals for the Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs. Players will be able to use 2 Joy-Con 2 mouse controls on the Switch 2. Scarlet and Violet have received the same updates. Like most, their image quality will be improved thanks to the optimizations for the Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs. Also, players will have a smoother experience thanks to the improved frame rate. The thing anyone asked for in that fucking game.
Which, going from 15 to even 30 frames would be ideal for that. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
I can't wait for Scarlet to still be the better game to run because it will still run better than Violet.
And that I don't understand. It's the same engine.
It's because of the particle effects coming off the dragon when you ride it. There's no particle effects on the Scarlet one. There are particle effects coming off the Violet one. That's why Scarlet runs better. Literally, that's it.
Better in quotation, too, by the way.
Yes, it is enough for speedrunners to choose Scarlet over Violet, but that is the only reason true players have chosen Scarlet over Violet. Otherwise, they are completely indifferent. I know. I've looked into it. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury will receive optimizations for the Switch 2 display and high-resolution TVs for better image quality. Frame rate has been improved for smoother movement. HDR support has been added, but only for Bowser's Fury. Game share support with up to 4 players being able to play Super Mario 3D World together. Bowser's Fury will allow 2 players to play together, one controlling Mario, the other controlling Bowser Jr. Players can also share locally online via game chat. Super Mario Odyssey, optimized for Switch 2 displays and high-resolution TVs for better image quality, also receive HDR support. Game share will allow 2 players to play together, one controlling Mario, the other controlling Cappy. Players will be able to share locally or online via game chat. Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom will also receive a graphics update. Optimization for Switch 2 and high-resolution TVs also receive HDR support. And Link's Awakening will also be optimized for Switch 2 and high-resolution TVs and receive HDR support. And there is your 14 or your 12 current updates. Are you excited?
It depends. Will Scarlet and Violet run any better?
Will Scarlet and Violet not run like ass? I hope so.
I do not hold my breath for it.
Speaking of, I should grab that comparison because I think Central Leaks has the comparison shot. Okay. There's one picture. There is 2 pictures of Scarlet and Violet running on Switch 1 and Switch 2.
Graphics look better.
Yes. Also, more Pokemans. Again, I hope it runs better. Is like that's kind of the whole point. Is it needs to run better. Otherwise, you've done nothing. You've accomplished nothing.
They've probably accomplished nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, like, hooray, support and updates. Hooray. That's all I have to feel about it. Anything else?
No.
All right, then. Square Enix and their earnings call talked about how they are undergoing a 3-year reboot plan to essentially transition from doing quality over quantity in terms of the number of games that they are putting out because of the number of failures they've had recently that are not Final Fantasy related. But basically, this plan is going to end off around March 2027. So guess what, folks? You know what this means?
What?
No Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 7 Part 3 or Kingdom Hearts 3 because they released screenshots for Kingdom Hearts 3 or Kingdom Hearts 4. I bet Kingdom Hearts 4 this week.
It's okay. Everyone forgets about 3 anyhow.
But yeah, neither of those games are coming out until like 2027. Also, that Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshot sucked ass. Because it wasn't that good either. Because the only reason they put it out there is because they canceled the mobile game they've been trying to like get off the ground and did nothing with. But they're like, here's Kingdom Hearts 4 screenshot to make you go, hey, we're still making this video game, we promise.
They're still making it. It'll just be 13 years away.
Let me see if I can find it.
Because, I mean, how many times have they remade 3? Yes, I said it that way intentionally.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is the screenshots they revealed. I would like to point out that in the screenshot, that's still everything from that first trailer that they shown off. Like location-wise and all that. That's still everything from there. That was like several years ago at this point. There is a reason.
It legitimately just looks like they said, okay, we're taking all the Kingdom Hearts stuff and throwing it in the Final Fantasy engine and saying, here you go.
It just looks like 3, except for now in a boring, regular Shibuya. That's all it looks like to me. And like Mickey looks like he's in the library that's in like Radiant Garden. Maybe. That's it. I'm like, how could I be excited for this? Because I will tell you this up front. You could not pay me to be excited for Kingdom Hearts 4. I am off that train after 3. 3 was just not that good for a lot of reasons. So yeah, I just no. And then they're like, hey, here's screenshots because we shut down that mobile game. And I saw someone I follow being like, I wonder how they're gonna work the lore in from the mobile game in the Kingdom Hearts 4 now. And I'm like, maybe don't. Maybe just cut it. Stop trying to make every goddamn game in this franchise fucking important. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
But how else will they get you to play the other games?
Maybe make them fucking good to start with on a story level. And not be reliant on like having a fucking tome of Kingdom Hearts lore in order to understand everything.
That, or, you know, I don't know, maybe make things make sense?
Maybe, I don't know, stop teasing things and make it a mystery box. Literally in 3's case, by being like, oh, here's a mystery box. I wonder what's inside it. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care that the dipshit and his 4 friends are back from the one fucking movie that you put on 2.8. And I don't care that fucking Zigbar is one of those other dipshits from that movie now. For reasons. And I especially don't care that the super boss of Remind is literally just Versus 13 protagonist. Fuck off the lot of it. Anything else on Square in their 3 years of just, well, we're just gonna put out remasters and stuff, I guess, for the next 3 years.
No.
All right, then. Good news! The Persona 5 gacha game is finally coming out outside of China. It will be coming out June 26th in the States, in Europe, and also in Japan. There is no word on an English dub, apparently, but it will be on mobile platforms in PC. Hooray! We now get alternate universe Persona 5, basically. Are you excited?
Not really, but it's also not really my area either, so.
Fair. I will at least try this out on Steam, since you can pick it up through Steam. I will try and see if it is anything worthwhile. I am not expecting much. More good news. In a surprising turn, Giant Bomb lives! Fandom has sold Giant Bomb basically to the folks that were running the website to start with. So now they independently own Giant Bomb, and they are now operating on their own terms. Which, hooray. They are also pushing their subscription service now, since that is basically how they're going to make money from here on out. But at Apaxy's panel, they announced this, and I am like, hooray! I did love, because I listened to a podcast, Jeff Gertzman's podcast, where he talked to Dan Riker, who's now one of the owners of Giant Bomb. And Gertzman was like, well, I saw this went down, and it was talking back and forth with Dan Riker. And then Dan Riker went really quiet on him, and he's like, oh no, he got sued. Oh no. But then it's like, oh, he bought the website. Well, this was going to happen eventually. But yeah, we don't have a price tag or anything attached to this. We just know that the lots of them own the website now, and they are independent, and they are doing their own thing now. So, hooray! How do you feel?
I mean, kind of a good thing, but at the same time, it's always tricky when this happens.
Yeah, because you're basically on your own terms now, and you gotta balance the books, and that can be a rough job. So hope they figure it out, and they do good by the folks that have stand behind them through all this nonsense. Anywho, a little bit of follow-up news. We have the schedule for Games Done, or Summer Games Done Quick 2025, which will be taking place between July 6th and July 13th. They've put out the schedule. We talked about the game list in general last podcast, but now we have the schedule. I'm not going to go through the schedule because it's basically everything we talked about except the backup games. Basically. I guess the only thing to note are the mystery things, I guess. I think I mentioned all of them, I believe, on the pre-show. That we have a mystery game with a mystery runner after Super Metroid on Thursday, which puts it around like 9:30-ish, I believe. Then we have a mystery thing after Bloodborne, potentially, or after Pump It Up Phoenix and Bloodborne, if Bloodborne gets met on Friday, about around like 10 o'clock-ish EST. And then we have another mystery thing with a mystery runner after the checkpoint on Saturday around like 7, I think. I think that's how that time runs out. That time's out.
Probably 8.
Yeah, probably around 8. And that will also be before the final run of the marathon, which will be Deltarune. Otherwise, as I mentioned, our bonus games are Bloodborne, which is 80% glitchless. Odyssey, 80% co-op. And where is the first one? Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which is Cactus King. But yeah, a lot of good stuff all around. I will go look up a Cursed Halo run since it didn't get to make it, which is fine, since it was a backup run. We still get a Halo Reach 4-player co-op run on Thursday night. Probably about when I will probably finish up that night. But yeah, anything on the schedule stands out to you currently?
I mean, not that we haven't already talked about.
All right, and last up, just for me, because they announced this last week, the Super Robot Wars team will have a SRWY focused stream in 2 days on Tuesday morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning, because this is how it rolls. It'll be completely focused on SRWY. They'll be showing off the game. I think they have a demo as well, probably of a level or so. So, hooray! And probably a new trailer as well. But no new shows or series will probably be introduced since they've already shown off the whole roster in terms of show material that they're putting in. But hooray! I will watch this Tuesday morning and be happy. Anything else then?
Do it.
Anything else?
No.
All right, then. That's it for the news. Releases! So, we're going to kick off on the 20th with Sea of Stars Throes of the Watchmaker for Xbox One Series, X, PlayStation 4, 5, and Switch, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate for PS4 and PS5. That's the roguelike Turtles game, for reference. Because, yes, there's an official, full roguelike Turtles game that is not just a mode in Fortnite that someone made. On the 21st, One Button Games 5-in-1 Volume 2 for Xbox One and Series X. Oh God, what is that? On the 22nd, Duck Detective, The Ghost of Glamping for Xbox One Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch, and The Secret of Salami for PlayStation 5. Mobile Good Gundam Seed Battle Destiny Remastered for Switch. I keep seeing ads for that. On the 23rd, Lego Harry Potter Collection for PlayStation 5. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank for Switch. Batman Arkham Collection for PlayStation 4. Now you too can spend 20 hours driving the Batmobile in the last game of that one. On the 27th, Cattle Country for Series X, PlayStation 5, and Switch. I feel like I know that. I might be wrong. I am wrong. Never mind. I thought that was something else. On the 28th, To a T for Series X and PlayStation 5. Let's see if I can find something in the massive list that is on the 29th. Nice Day for Fishing for PlayStation 5 and Switch. On the 30th, Disney Illusion Island starring Mickey and Friends for Series X and PlayStation 5. That's the new Mickey platformer. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Revenge for PlayStation 5 and Switch. That might be the physical release that Limited Run is doing. On the 31st, Top Gun Maverick for arcades. And Puzzle & Dragon Zero for Android and iOS. And that's basically it, folks. There's no whole lot of really interesting things coming out.
I am kind of curious on how the release thing will handle with the Switch release.
Oh, between Switch and Switch 2.
Uh-huh.
Oh boy, I can't wait to deal with that.
Right?
Let's get her. Yeah. We'll see. We only have like a month left to find that out. Oh no, less than that.
Oh no, it's
like,
full on listing it that way.
Okay.
Is
Is it just
oh
listing it?
boy. Oh boy, I already see a problem. Because it's listing it proper. But how do you feel about all of the shovelware that gets both Switch and Switch 2 mentions in there going forward?
What date are you on?
Oh, I pulled
so I
up
see
the
the same.
launch day, but I think I saw a few in there, but I can't swear to that. Because that's not usually shovelware day. Usually Tuesdays.
That is a very large list. Oh, goody.
And I'm curious if I just saw on there. Huh.
Oh god, they're also denoting differences if it's a game key card or not, which apparently the only reason the game key cards seem to be existing for like some publishers is because they don't want to pay for the 64 gig version. Because Nintendo's only offering like the smallest version and the largest version of the game carts.
Yeah.
Which is why some devs are opting for game key cards. And that seems to be like just a production issue thing. It's one of those just dumb things that's not as like bad as it seems like, but also it's stupid.
What I would hope it does, down the road at least, is I would hope that it sets it up to where with some of the devs they could do both. And you could save money getting the game key card. That way for people that are still wanting something physical but are fine with a digital download, they could buy the game still and maybe save like $5 or something.
Yeah. I think I saw it on Blue Sky somewhere, but I forgot to save it. It was like a graph that showed like how many games are actually fully on like the disc and stuff and how many aren't. And there's a lot of games that are actually still fully on disc and fully playable on disc. Like more than you would think. Like I think it's technically a majority. It's just perceptually it doesn't seem like it's the case, because I think it's mainly the big stupid games are like, here's like a quarter of the game on the disc and here's the download. Or here's the install, which maybe I think people are getting mixed up on, is the difference between a download and an install. But yeah, we will be worrying about that for the next podcast, because that would be the next set of releases I have to document. Oh boy.
I'm not really seeing it broke like that, so maybe it's not doing it right now. Oh, nope, there we go. Finally found one that does it.
Oh, what, game key card?
No.
Oh.
Listing both Switch and Switch 2.
Yeah.
So we might not have that as frequent at the beginning.
Oh well, it will get put on the list and be mocked at. If it does happen.
It also is making me wonder if we shouldn't retroactively consider most of the Switch ones as Switch and Switch 2. But I don't know how much compatibility would be there.
Yeah, if I remember right, most of the compatibility is on third-party devs at that point.
Yeah.
From the compatibility list we went through. Problems for the future. But I guess, you have anything else?
No.
All right, then in 2 weeks, we'll be back doing this on the eve of the Switch 2's launch, because that's that will technically be our last show before the Switch 2 launches. Quite literally, because
yeah,
it's
because it's a Thursday, so that would be
Yeah,
you stream anyhow.
yeah, I stream doing cat stuff instead of Switch 2 stuff, like a smart streamer.
That's okay.
Yep.
I'll stream doing Switch 2 stuff then.
Hmm. But yeah, that will be. Yeah, that is literally the last thing we do before that happens. But between now and then, this next Thursday, I'm doing cat stuff. Hopefully, we get the Fies Kimmy wrapped up, because all I have to do is figure out this ARM stuff, and then it's basically done. Friday, it is Cubage on the Animal Crossings. No Isabel, so we do not get to meet the Doomslayer's best friend. Unfortunately, that is later Animal Crossings. Saturday will be Randomania with the... I forgot offhand.
Presumably the Halo CE rando.
Yeah, Halo CE rando. Because I was like, wait, CE, Dread? Something else if neither of those work? I forgot exactly. But yeah, CLB CE randomizer. And then next Sunday, it is the Skull movie, which will be our last little bit of Futo PI stuff before we transition into however we're doing the video game adaptation wheel.
Yeah, because I probably put much.
I think what we'll do is we'll just each take a spin, and we will take the preferred option of the two for like a week or two, and then we'll transition to whatever else we'll collectively decide on from there.
That works.
Because it will ensure that if we get a really bad one, we can dodge it. Maybe. Unless we get two really bad ones. Because there are some sinkers on there. There's some good ones, though. So, we'll see. But yeah, if you like what you're seeing, folks, you can drop a follow. Really appreciate it. !YouTube and chat. Get you to the YouTube for this and all of our streams archived on there. !social and chat gives you the updates. So you get our handles for our social media so you know when we go live. !Discord and chat gives us like drop by, say hi, and we'll see you Thursday, folks.